What is social psychology? If psychology is the study of the mind and behavior, social psychologists study what goes on between people, looking at interactions between strangers or between people who know each other. It has been defined as a scientific field that seeks to understand the nature and causes of individual behavior in social situations. Humans are social animals. Isolation and loneliness is known to cause depression and even physical illness, and so it is only natural that the study of human behaviour should include how individuals behave when in the presence of others, as well as on their own. Social psychologists research and try to explain our behaviour in the presence of others and in social situations or contexts. Topics include group processes, social influence, aggression, and leadership. The scientific study of social behavior began in the 1860s in Germany. The idea of Volkspsychologie focused on the concept of a collective mind and the importance of cultural and community influences on individual behavior. The discipline really took off in the 1930s when the first handbook of social psychology was published, and psychologists used experimental methods to investigate social norms, group processes, and leadership. The field grew in the following decades, and the 1960s and 70s produced some important and famous studies, many of which would be considered highly unethical today. The syllabus for the AS or Year 1 A-level psychology focuses on 4 areas within social psychology under the umbrella of social influence. We will be looking at types of conformity, explanations of obedience, explanations of resistance to social change, and the role of social influence processes in social change. Let's break those down a little more now. Firstly, what do we mean by social influence? It can be defined as the influence of a group or an individual to modify the thinking, attitudes, and/or behavior of others. The 4 areas that we'll be looking at are conformity, obedience, independence, and the implications of social influence for social change. Firstly, conformity, defined as the tendency to change what we do, our behaviour, or think and say, our attitudes, in response to the influence of others or social pressure. This pressure can be real or imagined. Have you ever said or done something because you wanted to fit in, even if you didn't really believe what the majority was saying? Obedience to authority can be defined as a form of social influence where an individual acts in response to a direct order from another individual, who is usually an authority figure. For you, obedience to authority has meant obedience to your parents, to your teachers, and is there anyone else in your life that you feel that you are obeying at the moment? Or perhaps you don't. Independence from social influence is the ability to resist social influence, to not conform, to not obey. What are the factors that help someone to act against the majority or against the social norms of society? And finally, how does social influence cause social change, a process where the norms and ideas and even the structure of a society are changed? How have the ideas that are in existence now come about from the ideas that were in existence, for example, 40 or 50 years ago? We will be looking at these 4 areas over the next few weeks.